Welcome to Sysco's Virtual Kitchen. Jeff, welcome back. Can you
Hi
hear me?
there. Am I going?
Yeah, you're live. Go for it.
Hi guys, my name is Angela. I'm the founder of Kindred Kitchens, and I am here today working with Floating Leaf Foods. It's a Canadian company. They make a whole bunch of organic and gourmet rice blends, and I am going to show you a whole bunch of recipes and ways to work with the rice that isn't your traditional way of thinking of it. So I'll just give you the little product demo. So this is the packaging. So this is one of the ones. This one I actually really like. It is the wild rice and quinoa blend. Just put it up there. And then I also just chose to work with two more traditional. So this is cooked wild rice. So it's black wild rice. And it's really nice. Like it's got a really like crunchy texture and a very like earthy flavor. And then here we have, it's like the wild rice and it's like a brown rice blend. So
Beautiful.
yeah, what I did with them is I left them as rice for some of the things, but rice is nice because you can do so many things. So I'm going to start off with my most surprise because I like to do dessert first. So this morning, while everyone was sleeping, I was making little black rice brownies. They're so delicious. And I mean, you can make like a whole brownie tray, but I just wanted to like do little gourmet ones. I'll tell you what I put in them, but for that, I used the black wild rice blend. And I've done it before with the other black rice. It's like the Thai style rice. So I really wasn't sure how this was gonna go, but it was delicious. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. And it's one of those guilt-free brownies because this one actually doesn't even have, well, actually it has maybe like 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, but I ran out. So I used monk fruit, and it is actually flour-free too. So this is still a gluten-free brownie. It's very healthy. I call it the breakfast brownie because you can enjoy it for breakfast.
Nice.
It's also got a lot of protein in it too. And I used chia seed as a binding ingredient, dark alkalized cacao, and some vanilla and all sorts of yummy stuff. So I also iced them. And the icing, as we know, is normally like the worst part, but this is a super healthy icing. This one is actually a tahini base. I added some cacao powder, which is super nutrient dense, and then a little maple syrup. But you can also use coconut oil, or you can use like almond butter or cacao, like cacao butter. So whatever you want to do, it's really good, but it just makes it super easy, natural, and healthy too. So for the first one, I am going to show you my nice cream blend. And I don't know where my scoop is, so I'm just going to scoop it with this. So it's probably not going to look as good as my spoon. But I have another waffle bowl. I really just do these because they're pretty. And it's so much nicer than putting it in a bowl. So I have, this is a coconut, vanilla, and cashew nice cream. So I put it in there. All you do is you blend it up. I also put monk fruit in this, so it is sugar-free. I'm gonna put my little rice.
Angela, what's monk fruit look like?
Oh, you haven't seen monk fruit? I will show you what monk fruit looks like. It looks exactly like sugar.
What?
It tastes exactly like sugar. So I'll just give you, for sugar substitutes, I often use stevia. Stevia is cheaper, but it does have a little bit of an aftertaste, but it's completely natural. It comes from stevia leaf, which is from like Peru and South America. This is monk fruit. So monk fruit is a fruit. I'm just gonna give you guys a little glimpse there. And it is 0 on the glycemic index. And so it doesn't spike your blood sugar, which is the bad part about sugar. And it tastes exactly the same. So it's like a medium 1-for-1. I was gonna do a rice pudding, actually. That's so in the rice pudding, you can do a really nice rice pudding. I was thinking of doing it with the ancient grain blend, just to like, give it some more nutrition. But one of the things I like to do is I infuse lemon rinds and orange rinds into the water when you're boiling the rice, and then you add coconut milk to make it dairy-free, and some monk fruit and some vanilla and whatever kind of flavors you want to add to it. So yeah, so that's that. And then the fun thing is, like, on all of your Sundays or desserts and stuff. You can sprinkle maple syrup on it. I could make some more chocolate syrup just to tease you, but I'm just gonna sprinkle on some hemp seeds because we like extra protein, and some cacao nibs. As I mentioned before, cacao is actually the most nutrient dense food. Hold on, I'm gonna bring this up there so I can seduce you guys with my chocolate. So here we go. And I'm just gonna sprinkle on some cacao nibs.
Wow.
And you can also, this is actually chocolate mint. So I put some vegan, like a vegan chocolate bar, I just sliced it up and it's chocolate mint flavor. So you can kind of add whatever flavor you want in that sense. Nice. I just felt minty today. And I decorated them different. So this one on top of the chocolate tahini icing, it's got a chocolate blueberry. The other one has hemp seeds because I put that stuff on everything. And then the other one's coconut. So there is number one. I'm going to put a little mint leaf on that for you.
So Angela, can you just walk through that again?
Yeah.
One more time that you just, what's in all of that again? Let's just go through it one more time because it's so awesome.
Okay. So here, and I'll take pictures and I'll send them to you guys. Yeah. Here we have the black rice brownie. So this is the featured product. This is using the ancient grains.
This is Matt's product.
Yes.
Matt, I don't know if you've ever seen your product in a brownie, but
I knew he would never have seen this. And I'm just going to add some blueberries in because they're wild blueberries. And when they're frozen, they do this really cool thing where they frost on the outside. So in a second, it's going to look even cooler. And I might add a strawberry. But in these, what I did is I used the food processor and I added some oats. I added a little bit of coconut oil. If you don't want to use oil, because sometimes I do stuff for people that have heart problems. So if you don't want to use oil, you can use avocado or a nut butter. And that's like the oil. And I used chia seed as a binding ingredient, a little vanilla, and then I used some cocoa, which is so good, and maple syrup and monk fruit. And then I baked it. And because they were really tiny, it only took like 10 minutes to bake. Wow. And then I iced them. Whoa. So I put these in like the little things because I like the little bites, and then you kind of have portion control.
That is awesome. Like that would be so awesome, just any restaurant.
And people actually, it doesn't, like you're not going to eat it and be like, oh my gosh, that's made of rice, you know? So that's beautiful. Another thing I did, I'll just show you these little meatless balls, I call them. So I made 2 patties, and I'm going to start grilling these patties. I just wanted to show you first. Since I did burgers the last time, this one is using the wild rice blend. So it's the one that's like the brown rice with the dark wild rice in it. And I made this into like a Thai style one. So I put some almond butter into it. I mixed it all up. I added some chia, some cilantro, coconut, and some tamari and some lime. Yeah.
You know, there's a couple things here. I just want to share, because first of all, that's amazing. But you're making these products really, because typically in the past, when you see like a vegan burger, a plant-based burger and stuff like that, when people make it from scratch, they're not that thick. And I love that. It looks awesome.
Yeah. So anyways, okay, that's another thing too. So to get them this perfect shape, because as you can see, they're equal in the same size. So like if somebody like a restaurant or something wants to make their own vegan burgers, what I used, like I'm cheating, but you can actually get a mold. This is just a mini cheesecake. And so I put it in there, you put some parchment paper and you just shape it, and then you can remove it and you get a perfectly shaped patty. So yeah, man. And they don't take very long because the rice is already cooked. So you can just put it on and it takes about 10 minutes. So I'm just going to turn that on and I will explain patty number 2. So this one is using the dark rice blend. So I made brownies out of it and I made a patty as well. So this one is a more traditional one. It's got miso in it, dark miso, which gives kind of like a beefy flavor to stuff. Yeah. White miso is better for like seafood or cheese, just if anybody needs to know that. I put some nutritional yeast in this. I put some tamari, garlic powder, onion powder, cumin, and some smoked paprika. And I think that's everything. But it's really delicious because a lot of the flavor actually comes from the rice. So I didn't want it to like overpower it, but it does kind of add that like full body beefy flavor with all those ingredients. So that's number 2. And I'm gonna get that on the grill for you. La 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 la. And then I also, as I had leftovers, I just wanted to give you some versatility. So I did little meatless balls, and they're just so cute. So I made, you can tell the difference. So this is the darker one. And then these ones are actually the same as the Thai one, but I didn't add the Thai ingredients because I just wanted to. This one's for a different dish, which the Thai wouldn't go. So just to show you how you can get a few different dishes from using the same thing. So that's good for leftovers. You don't have to be wasting. I hate food waste. Okay, so the next one.
I can't believe you're making all this stuff from mats.
I know. I actually love rice. Okay, and so one of the things why I'm going to use a lettuce bun for this one is because everybody always says, oh, vegan food is so carby, right? But actually rice, like especially these rice, because it's like it's a brown rice, but especially the wild rice, it's really nutrient dense, it's flavorful, but it also has a lot of protein in it. And then I'm adding stuff, like I added cashews to like the Thai style one. So I'm adding also ingredients that add to the protein. So it's actually pretty high protein. Actually, it's over half high protein because the binding ingredient, which I totally forgot to mention, is textured vegetable protein. And I'll show you what that looks like. It is these little grounds. And this is really good for just making kind of like ground beef sort of stuff, but I use it more just to add that kind of, it's like a binding ingredient because it expands when you add water, but I just added it to the rice and then the other ingredients, and then it holds everything together really nicely, but it's all protein. So that's a problem solved right there. And it's very cheap. It's not expensive at all.
Well, okay. I'm looking at those. So let's go back to the burgers and stuff that you have there, the rice burger, the ones you built there. That's inexpensive right there. Those can't be even a fraction of what it would be if it was beef.
Yeah.
The cost, right? And the flavors are going to be way more intense.
Oh, and they freeze too. So like that's why I actually didn't mind it, because like I can freeze it and they'll be fine. So and I didn't do it because I just didn't have any. But if you add beet juice to it, it adds a lot of. Well, you can add beets to it to add some flavor, but it does add that like reddish color. Which I think is really nice, but I just didn't have any and I forgot. So
and beet juice, well, it's fine, but beet juice is like they're cheap too. So, but you're making products there that restaurants, and you're making products right there. Restaurants can put on their menu for such a great price point.
And it would also help them probably reduce waste because I'm sure that a lot of the stuff that they have doesn't get used. So in case someone has ever seen a spiralizer, okay, I already spiralized one for you, but it's just so much fun. I just wanted to share it with you. You stick the zucchini in. You can do this with carrots. You can do this with beets. You can do this with butternut squash even. And you just go like that. And I'll show you this way. Whee! And the noodles just come out like that. It's so easy. So I'm doing this for the meatless balls because since it's a rice in the ball, I didn't want to be like this really carby plate, right? So this makes it a nice light pasta. You get that like pasta sensation craving fix, but without all the carbs. And so I made a nice little spicy, it's not really marinara, I don't really know. It's just a chunky sauce that I wanted to create. It's got some onions in it. It's got some garlic. It's got some chipotle. So it's a little spicy. And then I'm just going to add some of these delicious meatless balls. And I'll add the black one on top, sprinkle it with some love. And last time I was talking about, I'm going to bring this over so you guys can see. I was talking about the Parmesan cheese. So I actually made some this time. Hey. And what this is cashews, nutritional yeast, which is very nutritional, garlic powder, smoked paprika, a little pink Himalayan salt. And you can always get like creative and use almonds, or you can use like hemp seeds or add some Italian seasoning, whatever really you want to do to make it your own. And we sprinkle this on like magic. Boom, boom. And then we got our rice balls and our zucchini pasta. So that's number 2.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so much fun. Okay, I got more coming at you.
You know what's nice about this too is that floating leaf rice and the company is Canadian. And you can add that on your menu. It's amazing, right?
Yeah, and a lot of their stuff, I don't know if it all is, but a lot of it's organic and it's sourced like from good. Oh, this is non-GMO. It's got like all the things on it. Obviously it's vegan, but you can't actually just assume things are vegan because they're rice, because sometimes they're processed in plants that, you know, contain cross contaminants and stuff like that. So I really like it. And they actually grow some of their own rice in Canada. So it's a nice, sustainable, conscious brand too.
Yeah.
Okay. So another, I have to get my scallops on. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I made a curry because I was like, okay, I have to do at least like one rice dish, you know what I mean? Since it's a rice thing. So I have a curry coming at you. But first I'm just gonna tell you what dishes that I'm going to be making right now. And it's little scallops using oyster mushrooms, and I made a little risotto. So that is what I'm gonna be making here. So these things, I'll just dip it in my garlic butter, which is like super And okay, so we'll go here. This is the oyster.
What?
It's not really an oyster. It's just it's an oyster mushroom. So it looks like a scallop, which that was my favorite seafood actually. So, you know, doing something like this. And if you want, I didn't actually go through the trouble today, but you can add miso. And if you wrap it around with some seaweed and stuff and let it sit, it can marinate to take on that like sea-ish flavor, you know, to mimic it. Yeah, there's lots of stuff you can do. You just need to get creative. So I just scored.
That's a mushroom. That's a mushroom right there.
Yeah, it's a mushroom. So I'm just going to add that here.
Awesome.
Put these on. And the burgers are cooking up nicely. I got some other little mushrooms on here. So this is, just because I don't like food waste, these are the other ends of the mushrooms. So I'm just going to add them to another dish when I get there. But these scallops literally only take like 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to get them on while I'm doing the other dish. And then we'll have everything done. Yeah. I'm like one of those people, like I love making food. I just don't like spending a lot of time making it. So I'm like still like a short order cook in my heart, you know, if it can't be done in 10 minutes, like who has time for that? Or if you can't make extra to save you time in the future, because be real, we're all like pressed for time. Okay, and so for the curry that I made, I'm using this sprout just because it's so good on its own, you know, and I've never really done a curry with anything other than like a white rice. So I'm just going to show you how beautiful it is, all the different grains. I'll tell you everything that it's got in it. White sorghum, quinoa, sprouted crimson lentils. And just to note, I did mention this last time, but when something's sprouted, it doubles in nutrition. I'll just give you guys a little look. And it has brown rice and wild rice. So you can kind of see all the little grains in there. And one of the things that I like to do with my rice when I'm doing a curry, I learned this from a Chinese person, and it makes everything so much better. So you just take green onions and you cook it in a little bit of, they use olive oil, which isn't really the best for heating, but that's what they use. But I use coconut oil or avocado oil or whatever. And you just let it kind of boil and the flavor seeps out, and you put that on the rice, and it's so good. So I'm going to do that. Put a little green onion love on here. And you know me and my onion fetish, so I'm going to put some fried onions on here too because I love it. I'm just going to sprinkle some of that on. And then I'm going to put the curry in the dish and let them sit there and tempt me while I make more food. So what dish should I put in? Put it in this one. Okay, so this is just a simple golden curry. I put some eggplant in it, a little celery, some tofu, some butternut squash. And it was actually just a very easy curry. I didn't actually make the paste, it's got a roy, but I added extra stuff to it because I like it spicier and more flavor. So I added some turmeric, some sriracha. I added a little monk fruit just to balance out the spice. I added some cumin. Obviously, I added garlic and onion because I add that to everything. And
it's incredible.
Yes, maybe something else, but it's so good. Like it's actually like I'm not like, you know, a person that likes to promote all these extra brands and stuff, but it is a good simple curry that I trust. So all you need is coconut milk and a little creativity. So I'm just gonna give you guys the curry and the rice. See all the toppings?
Yeah.
The toppings on the rice. It's like heaven. So that's number 3. Here I am making all this food again, and I have to eat it all. Damn it.
Happened last time too. Okay.
I know. You know what? Actually, last time my neighbors were really benefiting because I
That's awesome.
I'm just gonna flip these, and I'm gonna flip these burgers. The burgers, they actually cook really well, like on the grill, but just flipping them, you need a spatula because they're still they cook nice and like they crisp up on the outside, and they're really soft on the inside, which I like. But
can you use an air fryer, Angela?
You know what? You probably could. I've never tried an air fryer. I don't know what my spatula is, but I'm just gonna use this fork. You can use an air fryer for everything. You probably could because you can bake them as well. I just like doing it on the grill because I like when the oil gets on it and it gets like that nice little crunchy outside.
Yeah, I do too.
But I'm not opposed to doing stuff without oil. I mean, with oil. You know, I like oil. I mean, I drink my chocolate syrup for breakfast every day, and that's made with oil. So I think a little bit is good as long as it's good oil.
Awesome.
Okay, so what else do we have coming at you? Oh, I also have a risotto, which I'm going to do.
Okay.
One. I also use the ancient grain blend. It's going to be a little hard to show you because it's in the pan here, but I'll just scoop some up like that. So this is a coconut milk with lime and cilantro. So it's like, I don't know, it's going with like an Asian sensation today, but it's to go with the scallops, which I'm going to squeeze lime juice on instead of lemon. And I just had some extra butternut squash, so I'm just going to use that to garnish it and make everything pretty.
Awesome.
Because you are what you eat. So you got to eat food.
All the recipes you're going to have up on your page and stuff?
Yeah, actually, I have the recipes from the last one too. I just don't know where to share them with you.
We'll get them out there. We'll get them, and maybe we can create a link and stuff off of today's show because I'm getting.
And I'm going to take better photos of all of this too because the food looks really beautiful. It's just really hard on the angle to show you.
Yeah, and we'll get that out to everyone because I'm getting text from a lot of people asking for recipes and pictures and stuff. So awesome stuff.
Yeah. So this is the risotto, and for this, I actually used a little bit of broth when I boiled it. I didn't put wine in it. I just didn't have any wine and I didn't have any time, but you don't need to. I used coconut milk instead, and I used a bunch of other ingredients. I seasoned it while I was boiling it too. And it's got so much flavor already. I didn't want to like withdraw from that. So that's kind of why I left it and just added the coconut milk. So it's very like lightly seasoned, but delicious. Okay, so I'm going to add some beautiful green to that. We'll add some scallops. Scallops. I have to put that in quotation marks. Sometimes people get freaked out because, you know, like when I'm making something and it's supposed to imitate something, remember last time I kept calling them eggs, but they weren't eggs? And everyone's like, I don't eat eggs. And I'm like, okay, I know. It's figuratively speaking, okay? So... So here we have our scallops, and I like them, so I'm just gonna, oops.
That's a really cool idea. It's a really cool idea.
Yeah, and they do look like scallops. It's crazy.
They do.
So another thing you could do with this too is you could always make rice paper bacon. I know now you've had the coconut intro, the carrot bacon, and then there's rice paper bacon coming at you one of these days. But you could do bacon wrapped scallops.
We'll do that next.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Bacon every day. Bacon. Okay, so
I'm blown away by the.
Oh, I forgot to put my I toasted up some cashews to sprinkle in my curry, but anyways, you'll see. I'm gonna put some sprouts on this just because they're beautiful. We'll go with purple. Like I said, sprouts make everything healthier and more beautiful. And so I got, these ones are red daikon. We can open the package. Jay, can you open this for me?
I was gonna say, I feel bad watching you find a package. I hate it.
There we go. It's like child-proof. There. Okay. So these are really pretty ones. I'm just going to show you them because I love I love the love. They're like little hearts. Isn't that so perfect? Like
Beautiful.
beauty by design. Okay. So I'm just going to sprinkle some of that on because the color makes everything so pretty and makes it more appetizing. These look like little flowers.
Beautiful.
Which edible flowers are also fun to work with. So I'll probably be doing some of that soon once they're growing. Oh, this is so beautiful. Okay. Put 2 big ones in there on the top. Actually, I'll do 3 there.
I just want to eat one of those just to taste it. Well, it's, scallops are pretty expensive. So
Yeah.
to do that, like, once again, you're reducing costs for restaurants and just creating a whole new experience for people.
See, and that's the misconception. Look, and then I'm just going to do a little the Parmesan.
Little Parmesan, I love that.
So there we go. That's plate number 2. It's got little grilled squash on the outside, a bunch of delicious vegan oysters. Yeah. And then we have our coconut rice or coconut lime risotto underneath using the beautiful blend. So this is really nutritious and it's actually very affordable if you put it like all the other traditional ones, right? So okay. And then there's more. All right. So I'm gonna get these burgers on the go. Which one should I do first?
You know what? I'm game on anything. I'm just still blown away by.
Okay.
I'm getting texts from everyone. They're just so happy and blown away. So.
Okay, so last time I had a failed attempt with the iceberg lettuce, which I only did because that's how I've experienced it. But this is what I normally my go-to, and I prefer this too because it's still living, like it's got roots. So maybe potentially you could even stick this in some soil and grow another one. Who knows? Nature's weird like that. But these are much easier to use in terms of like a base because it's like a perfect shape, right? So you can do that. You can do a double one if you want. And let's see, which one am I going to do? I'll do the dark one first, and I'm just going to put it on the bottom. And for this, I'm using that homemade ketchup again, which I will remind everybody what was in it. So it is tomato paste. For one of those squeezable things, I try to avoid cans because they're lined with BPA, which is not good. And then it has apple cider vinegar in it, smoked paprika, garlic powder. You can always add in like some molasses or something, and whatever flavors you want to, if you want to make it like a smoky or barbecue sauce and whatever, you can play around. And maple syrup is the sweetening agent, or if you want to be sugar-free, you can use, they actually have like keto maple syrup, believe it or not, which I don't even know what that is. But it's like sugar-free maple syrup. But yeah, monk fruit and stuff works as well. You just have to play with the levels because, you know, if you're using wet ingredients to replace or dry ingredients to replace wet, you have to find that happy balance. Maybe add some tomato sauce, but it's like a fun experiment. Like I never really know what I'm gonna get, but it always turns out good. So, yeah. So this is the vegan mayo again. Here we have, this is actually a local brand. It's Sunshine Farms. It's just a relish, which my friend bought this for me. I'm not usually a person that buys condiments, but whenever they see like weird local stuff, they get it for me because they know I like to try new products. So buying local is like my big thing, especially right now, you know, Jay, can you open this for me? Okay, so we might skip on the relish.
We'll get you an opener.
Yeah, you know what I used to have is like one of those, what is it called? It's like a rubber grip.
Okay, for older people, that one?
Yeah, it's like a rubber thing, and you put it on top, and it works better than my hands. So this
we'll show you the chef way with the back of the knife once.
Yeah. So this, I'm just going to use some Dijon, and I'm going to add on some homemade ketchup. And you can get really fun. I'm going to put sprouts on this too because I think that's good. You can add tomato or whatever, but I'm actually gonna leave this open so that you guys can see what it looks like rather than me, you know, making it into an actual burger. And then I'm gonna put some sprouts on because sprouts are always fun. But I have more than one sprout, so I'm going to surprise you with my secondary sprouts, which, oh, here we go again. Note to self, open packages. China fruit sprouts. Okay, so these ones are sunflower sprouts.
Okay.
They are actually really delicious.
Oh, yeah.
I did like this collaboration with this Italian chef, and we made squash pizzas, like hemp crust pizzas, and we put these on, and they were really, really pretty. So, and they're really tasty. So this is like the healthy burger.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So pretty, and just because
what rice do you have in that burger again?
This one is the dark rice burger.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna leave it open face with an extra.
I like that. I like that open face idea because it's so beautiful. Why would you close it up? Right?
Exactly. And what you can always do if you need to is stick like a little skewer in it. You know what I mean? If you want to close it up. But it's nice. I really like the lettuce. It just gives it it makes it so much juicier, because that's one of the complaints. Not that these are dry, just for the disclaimer. But a lot of people complain that veggie burgers are dry. So when you replace the dry bun with a juicy piece of lettuce, that eliminates that problem automatically. Like, hello.
Yeah.
So there we go. That is burger number 1. And burger number 2 is coming here. Here's these little mushrooms. So when I take pictures, I'm going to actually add these to my plate just to make it extra pretty. But I'm going to do this one on a lettuce bun too. I did make a cheese sauce for you, but I will whip up a quick little Thai peanut sauce, which I wasn't expecting, but I'm going to. And I'm going to use almond butter rather than peanuts, mainly because that's what I have. But I do have peanut butter too. But peanuts, unless you get organic, peanuts are one of the most highly pesticided crops. So in my humble opinion, that's why I think that we have a big peanut allergy pandemic, because of that. So that's why I always recommend eating organic or just using something that is replaceable, like almonds. So almonds are delicious. And let's just put it here.
Yeah, what did you do? You made almond eggs Benny.
Yeah. Almond eggs Benedict. Yeah. You can do anything with a little creativity. So let's just get a little container.
So was it just people just starting to find almonds and now use them in recipes more and more? Or is that something that people have been doing for a long time? Because it just seems so cool to use almonds the way you are.
Yeah, I don't know, because for me, when I became vegan, it actually just shifted how I started working with food. You know what I mean? And think about how we even thought about food. You know what I mean? Because we always think about it in one term, or in one in how we're used to using it. So it's you put this on a piece of bread, or you put this on pancakes. But when I work with food, I am trying to simulate something by not only making it taste like that or look like that, but also in terms of the nutritional profile. So if I'm making something, I'm okay, if it's a rice burger, I don't want it to be just rice. You know what I mean? I want it to still have that protein in it, and a complete protein. So if you're adding the chia seeds and you're adding all of those ingredients like I just did, it's actually a complete protein. It's a high protein burger. So I just like to challenge the status quo. But I don't know. I think creativity comes from necessity. Mm-hmm. So what I did for this little sauce, this is just, I'm making it thick so it stays on. You can make it a lot thinner or whatever, and it's not going to be blended up the best because this is not the best container. But it's just almond butter. You can add some sriracha sauce. I squeezed in a little bit of lime, and then I'm going to add in just a little bit of maple syrup. I'll just bring it over. Wow.
Yeah.
So this is something that you can use to replace the ketchup, or you can use both if you'd like.
That's lovely.
So, and I could even put my scallops on here, or my mushrooms. You know what? I'll put my mushrooms on here just for fun. Okay. I like surprising myself. So let's get this plate here. We got our little bun. And I got my patty. See, and it's sturdy. Once you get it cooked on both sides, it doesn't like fall apart. So that's also nice. Oh my God, this is like so yummy. Yeah, I love it. I'm like a nut butter freak. Like, everybody's like, where do you get your protein? It's like I literally eat like seeds and nut butters. Like that's like all I do. I mean, I do eat other stuff, and there's protein actually in everything. Like in all of this stuff, there's protein. People just don't really think about it like that. But yeah, I am a big nut butter fan.
Wow.
Coconuts, hemp seeds, like I sprinkle that on everything. Speaking of hemp seeds, I'm gonna put some hemp seeds on this. Why not? And I'll put a little bit of this cashews. I'm gonna put some cashews on there. This would be really good with a little sriracha on it.
Yeah.
Just for some fun. What do I have back here?
Like I don't think I've ever seen this many cool recipes on our show ever. So thank you. This is just incredible.
I once dated this guy. I have some leftover butternut squash, so I'm just gonna put it on because I just feel like that would be really good to put on this. And butternut squash is actually one of the lower carb ingredients. So sometimes when people want to replace banana or something in a smoothie, they'll use like squash or zucchini. So just giving you some food for thought because that's what I like to do.
Very cool.
Okay. So I'm going to do that. I feel like we should have a little cilantro because it is Thai style. So just going to sprinkle it on. I don't have anything cut, but that's okay. We'll just go like that. Fancy. And some green onions. Go. I feel like it needs something red, so I'll just squeeze a little drizzle on this just for fun. So one of the things, so like I said, it's like an art with me, right? So when I do it, I like my food to be colorful. So when it's colorful, it means that there's a big range of nutritional diversity and usually flavor and texture. And I like it to be nutrient dense, which this rice is very nutrient dense. Like compared to like the white counterpart, it's like really bursting with nutrition. And it's also high protein, and the sprouted ingredients are very high protein, but it's also richer in flavor. So this is a fun little one. I'm gonna bring it over.
Oh my God.
Hold on, it's not done. I need some fried onions on this. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So we got another little open face here. It won't be open face when I do it. It's a Thai burger. The little surprise butternut squash on it, and yeah. And you could do something similar to this. I'm just gonna show them. You could do something similar to this. It doesn't have to be Thai. I'm just gonna throw some ideas at you. You could add in like that curry paste, for example, and maybe like some mango pulp or whatever, make it kind of more like a Bombay flavor. So really what the idea is that you make the burger, the patty, which is the same as I made those meatless balls, and then I just separated it. And then I made more than one dish. So it will actually save you a lot of work if you're, cooking smarter, not harder. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Wicked ideas. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to add some purple onto this too because it's here.
Why not?
There. All right. Now it looks beautiful.
It looks awesome. Well, you know what? Thank you so much. Is there anything else? Do you want to give us some wisdom for the rest of our weekend? Because we need that a little bit right now.
Sure.
Okay.
Wisdom about what? I have lots of wisdom.
I don't know. Give me some wisdom. Give us some wisdom. Our viewers, the people are going to watch us later this weekend, what can you tell them?
Okay. Well, what I like about everything that I made here today is all of the ingredients were locally sourced, except for maybe the cashews. I'm not really sure where they came from. They're probably not, but some of the things are not, you can't get around. But a lot of what I made today as well is stuff that you can recreate into new meals. So like I have these two leftover scallops. I don't have to have it as a scallop. I could add this in to another dish. And this is what I do. So it's like I don't have that monotonous menu. That's what I find a lot of people have. They're like, oh, I get so bored eating the same thing all the time. Yep. Make like meal prep. But like that's what I did today. And that's one of the things that I try and teach people is you can use a base and then separate it. And like what I did today too is I made stuff that I can freeze. So it's about being efficient and saving time, but also just, changing up the flavors a little bit from that, and you will save yourself a lot of work as well. So
That is awesome. Can you grab the bag of floating leaf rice and just show everyone once more?
yes, where did I put it?
I think it's over there to the other side. There we go.
It's here. And I'll give you guys a little glimpse of the dishes again.
Yeah, one more glimpse.
Okay. Oh, and you know what? I'll tell you. So the cooking times for these, the black rice, the wild rice, is actually like it takes the longest because it's really hard, right? So all in all, it's about 45 minutes to cook, and it cooked exactly like it was supposed to. Like I just followed the instructions. Same with this. I didn't need to soak it or anything like that. And then the wild rice too. It takes a little longer than like normal white rice, but yeah, it's pretty easy. Like it's just add water or add broth, whatever you want to do. And another thing, if you want to cook one of these things and you want to save money on those bouillon cubes or whatever,
yep.
Just whenever you're boiling vegetables, just keep the water and put it in your fridge. This is what they do in restaurants all the time. But for the average person, not average, exceptional person that doesn't work in a restaurant, ex-foodie, that's just something that they can do, because a lot of people don't think about that. And in that water, you have a lot of flavor and nutrition. So if just by dumping it, you're losing that. Or you can let it cool, but you can always feed it to your plants. So that's another thing too. So you're going to be feeding your plants nutrition too, and they like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Thank you so much. Thank you, Floating Leaf, also for really, sponsoring today. And I can't believe all the ideas. I'm blown away, and I think they're quite happy from my side as well. So thank you so much, Chef, and what you've done is just unbelievable ideas. So stay tuned. We have more, and you know what we're gonna do? We have another show, a big show next week with Angela next week at 11 a.m. Eastern time on Thursday next week. We're gonna see a ton more plant-based and vegan ideas. And just thank you so much.
Thank you. This was fun.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you later, and everyone else have a great weekend and enjoy some food. Go eat some plant-based.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to.
All right. Thank you.